Hey Robin, it's Dan.
Hi.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm very well. Just wanted to see if I could help you out this evening.
That'd be great. Thank you.
I can't even remember the nature of your health opportunity today.
You can't remember? Okay.
Oh, I did so many
Well,
emails.
yeah, I understand. Well, about a year ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer,
Oh, that's right. Okay.
and I'm currently 41, but I was 40 at the time, and it was a huge surprise. Just mainly because I was pretty conscientious, very healthy, organic eating, very concerned about my environment. Um, so it was a big surprise. But so this last year, I basically have just been trying to get well. I did have surgery done to remove the tumors, but I refused any other kind of treatment, so no radiation or chemotherapy.
Good.
But it's just, and I've been doing really well, but it's just confusing because there's just so much information out there.
Uh-huh.
And trying to find the right path to wellness has been good, but like I said, there's just so much information and a lot of conflicting opinions, and so I'm kind of at a point where I'm just grasping for something more simplistic. And
Well, you're moving in the right direction then.
yeah,
Yeah, because simplicity is what heals, you know?
right,
Complexity is what causes all these diseases in the first place. So
yeah,
I appreciate your lucidity, your ability to express yourself. It makes for such a wonderful video. So you opted off of the chemotherapy and radiation, and so now, when's the last time you saw your oncologist?
Well, I saw a conventional oncologist last summer. So I was diagnosed in May. I had surgery in June. And I saw actually two conventional oncologists last summer. And we did some more extensive testing on my specific form of cancer with basically biopsies of my tumors. And we did find out that chemotherapy really would have had no benefit to me.
Or anyone for that matter. IMO.
Yeah, right, exactly. But, if I would have done as I was strongly suggested, I would have done chemotherapy like right away before I even got those test results back. So I just knew that was not something I was going to do. So anyway, to answer your question, I haven't seen a conventional allopathic, Western oncologist since last summer. But I did seek treatment from a integrative oncologist in Southern California, and the last time I saw him was December.
Okay, and so now you've kind of been on your own, researching everything like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was taking a lot of supplements and, just trying to throw everything I could find at it. And it's exhausting, and
Yeah. So, is it safe to say that there's a little bit of fear there?
yeah, there has been, yeah, but I've done I think a pretty good job of trying to manage that. But yeah, it's always there in the back of my mind.
Was there fear there to your knowledge prior to the diagnosis?
Yeah.
In life, in general?
I was actually really fearful of cancer. My grandmother and her sister both passed from breast cancer, and I think I was really conscientious and aware of, nutrition and my environment, like I said, but I almost did it more out of fear, like, oh, I have to do this because I don't want to get cancer, that kind of thing.
Yes, and so
and
now...
then I ended up getting it anyway.
And so you're aware of, and that's why I asked that question, was just to get straight to it. You're
Yeah.
aware that that which you fear will meet you halfway.
Yeah, I do 100% believe that now, looking back especially, but at the time I really wasn't aware of what I was doing to myself.
Yeah, well, you're really intelligent, and I appreciate that so much. I can't even tell you. So that's, you can begin to see how I like to go from consciousness first to the underlying issue, and then I want to bring up, as we progress through the video, some more of the linear concepts that you can use to start alkalinizing the tissues in the organism or your body. And then as you alkalinize and soften up that hardness that has manifested itself in your body through the fear,
yeah,
then those emotions and those thoughts that were arising from the fear that that your grandma and your aunt or whatever it was, you said your mom or
my great aunt, yeah.
Okay, and then that just kind of set in motion in your mind. So what's interesting about, it's kind of like this whole big law of attraction thing that's going on these days. And
yeah.
So it's the law of assumption in another way too, to where if you love it or if you fear it, you will find it. And so now you're really cultivating love, because like I said today in a conversation with another one of my clients, is that love alkalinizes the tissues and blood like nothing else. So you're going to want to start cultivating that love, which of course is the #1 medicine. And then there are some other things that I want to help you with today to help you to get hydrated and alkalinized and start moving the lymphatics. But the accumulation of the acids in your breasts come out of a fear. And so what it was you were doing some things in your life, and I don't know what that was, because it sounds like, what's interesting, Robin, is that people are like, oh, I'm really conscientious about my diet. I only drink like 2 sodas a week, or I only eat,
That's exactly, yeah.
That's it?
Oh, yeah, like, I don't know if you read my inquiry to you, but
I did.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was like. I was kind of doing everything half-assed. Like, I was probably healthier than anyone else I knew, but I would have a Diet Coke a couple times a month, but then I would kind of feel guilty about it. And then I drank a glass, well, probably 2 to 3 glasses of red wine every day for about 12 years.
Okay.
And
there you go.
Yeah.
Theoretically,
and I didn't really want to eat meat, but I did. Things like that. I just wasn't really taking it to the level it needed to be taken.
So here's a beautiful opportunity. I'm really glad that we got in contact, because you can see how one part of you is the higher part that knows. The other part of you has this fear there that's subconscious, which then you create these opportunities to make these choices that you don't really want to make, and you don't know why you're doing it, but then it leads to the accumulation of acids and then for you it was the acids stagnated in the breast. Maybe you even had the wrong kind of bra, or I don't know, would that be a possibility as well?
That I was wearing the wrong kind of bra?
Because those wire bras can keep the lymphatic, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I wore wire bras constantly.
Okay, so you see how I've been through this several times with a few of my clients, and also just done a lot of thinking, because this is a major thing, and then they go in and they put your boobs underneath the radiation, and it's like, oh, that's real genius, guys, hello.
Yeah.
And
I know.
what's that going to do, so we're trying to make some sense out of all this here. And it's just crazy town out there in the medical industry, when this thing is real simple, because I think you're already getting the essence of some of the things that I'm sharing, is that you're going to have to work on that subconscious fear, #1, because then what's going to happen is it'll be easier to implement all of the linear data, which is green juices and herbs, which will cleanse the blood and alkalinize and also antioxidize and start neutralizing those acids. And then it'll pull them through the lymphatic system, through the kidneys, so that they can just be released. But don't forget that as that process is taking place, you're going to be kind of re-experiencing the fears and re-experiencing some of the emotions and thoughts that go along with it as those elements that were stagnant within the tissues are being released. You're going to feel them energetically. So it's important in any type of healing to continue to move forward with courage through unpleasant emotions and not use food and do everything that you can to process those fears, you know? And so that's where you're at, because you're actually my age, and if you live right, your body actually starts to get younger and healthier and more vibrant, and your mind gets clearer, and you get happier and more joyful and more solid in who you are. So we should be in the prime of our lives for the next, 3 or 4, decades. So let's get that. Let's get you moving in the right direction. So are we on the same page here?
For sure.
Okay, cool. So now, what have you been doing? You know some of my videos, right?
Yeah, I've watched some of your videos. What have I been doing dietary-wise?
I mean, let's get to that. Now that you know that you've got to get some counseling, or you've got to do some prayer or meditation, or whatever it is that you do to go on the inward journey to find out, why did I get afraid, and how can I change my vibration so that I no longer magnetize breast cancer consciousness, which is exactly what you did. And that makes sense to you now. So this is nothing, like I said in the beginning, this is your health opportunity to raise you to another level of consciousness so that you can live the rest of your life really caring for the temple, learning these laws of nature, which are going to keep your tissues clean, and learning the laws of consciousness, which are going to allow you to, start thinking in a new and better way and clean up your mind, so to speak, so that you can attract. You clean up your mind, and that helps to illuminate the heart, and then your life gets better because you vibrate at a higher level, and then you attract things that are not disease. So many people are just attracting disease, and then they're drinking a soda here and a soda there, and it doesn't seem bad, but it's just enough acid accumulation to eventually manifest some type of illness.
Right.
Okay, so there we go. That's good for everyone to know that. Next is the fun part for me, because I've taken so many years to gain the discipline and let go of, because I had my own issues too, through this whole process, to really learn how to eat the foods that are really going to create health within the GI tract, the lymphatic system, and all the tissues in my body. And so now is the fun part. And so let me ask you first what you've been doing. Give me a general synopsis of your diet right now.
Well, as soon as I found out that I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I quit eating meat, like, immediately.
Smart move.
About 2 weeks prior to my diagnosis, I stopped eating meat. Then I quit drinking. Well, I cut back on wine to maybe like 1 or 2 glasses a week. And I did that until January, and then in January I stopped drinking altogether. And so I eat a ton of vegetables. I wasn't eating really any fruit because one of my doctors had told me that, cancer, and through research, obviously, to my own research, cancer thrives on sugar. So they strongly encouraged me not to eat any kind of fruit sugar, no kombucha, nothing like that. So I was doing that for quite a while, and then over the last couple of months, I've just been really yearning for fruits.
Yes.
So I've been incorporating those back into my diet, but I think the only thing that confuses me is I've also read that it's okay to have fruit, but then you can't have the oils and the fats. And so, like coconuts and almonds and things like that, which I know you're a big proponent of, you know, I'm not sure if I should be still eating those things or not. And I'm not.
Yeah? Okay.
Hey, Jenna, I'm on a call. You want to catch up in a minute? Sorry, Robin. In about 10. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, sorry about that, Robin.
No, it's okay.
Okay, cool. So, let's see here. We're moving forward. So I got a pretty good idea then of where you're at, because you're moving in that direction. And what's interesting is as you get cleaner, because you're getting cleaner, right, as you move along.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you get cleaner, you're going to naturally gravitate towards fruit. When you're really bunged up with too much acid waste, then you can't eat too much fruit without stirring things up and causing kind of a fermentation. But as the GI tract gets cleaner, fruit becomes more of a natural food. And so, like you said, were you doing raw vegetables, steamed vegetables?
All of the above.
Oh, okay. I always like everything as raw as possible because, you know, the enzymes and living water and living cellulose. You've all heard that a million times. But, you know, as your GI tract gets cleaner and cleaner, you can absorb more fruit. And the beauty of the fruit is its pulling properties as well as its dissolving properties. So it's very difficult without being right there. That's why one day I think I need to open a clinic so I can go one-on-one. That's when I do the best. But when I'm working in general terms over the videos, it's very difficult because each person has a different you know, trajectory that they're on, and they're a different place, and it's a systematic detoxification. But you're kind of at about step number 6, you know, where you can start bringing in moderate amounts of fruit, working your way towards more fruit, because fruit is the most cleansing, nourishing, and satisfying food. For the most part, if you said, like, you're in California, California is still a good fruit place. Seattle gets less, Canada gets less, and in Alaska you might have a few berries or something. But basically, the more south you are, closer to the equator, the more fruit you're going to eat. Then you go up to vegetables and then and nuts, and then you go up to like meat for an Eskimo or something like that. But that's just a little thing. So now I would encourage, though, for the most part, have you been drinking the green juice?
Yes, but not enough, I don't think. Like, not enough.
How often do you have a green juice?
Like once a day.
Oh, well, no, I mean, and how much do you drink?
About 18 ounces, 17, 18 ounces.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. What I do, I mean, today I drink a half a gallon of juice as a meal. That's what I do. I'm kind of crazy. I made a lemon ginger blast today, the most ultimate epic lemon ginger blast of all time. Too many hot peppers. But I drink about a half a gallon. That was a meal for me. And then I had about 8 coconut waters. I ate about 8 coconuts. Now this is just me. I had coconut for dinner. Coconut water, and then the meat of about 3 coconuts, and that was my dinner. So that's how, you know, that's how I roll, like juice. But see, I got a lot of alkalinizing minerals in my body, and then that was just energized, and I went hiking today and worked in the garden all day, and now I'm doing consults and phone calls, and I got a lot of energy from the juice. But I want to encourage you, if you can, I don't know what's your weight real quick, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, right now I'm probably about 125.
Okay, so you're like...
should weigh a little bit less, like maybe about 5 pounds less, I think. I'm really active, too. I work out. I'm a fitness coach now. And anyway, I'm active.
Okay, cool. And so how tall are you? Because you sound perfect. You know what I mean? Like
5'5".
Oh yeah. So you're totally like excellent height weight ratio and everything. It's just this doggone little thing, this little opportunity you've got here. So if you can stomach it, do you feel full after 17 or 18 ounces?
Yeah. But
Okay.
I get hungry again pretty quick. That's the other problem is because I'm so active, I'm hungry all the time.
Right, because you're eating the fruits and vegetables. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's understandable. So your main issue right now is alkalinity. So the green juices are doing you well. And so how many meals are you having a day?
Well, I usually have like a smoothie in the morning, sometimes juice before the smoothie,
Mm-hmm.
or not, if I don't do it before, I'll do it after. And then I might have like a salad for lunch or something like that, and then I usually eat a pretty good dinner. So 3-ish, 4.
Okay.
And I'll snack through the day too. Like lately, I have been snacking on vegetables or fruit, or raw vegetables. And then I was eating a lot of nuts, but I've kind of cut back because I've been eating so much more fruit now.
Yeah. And with the nuts, were you soaking and sprouting and culturizing those?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So you were you making the yogurts then?
Yeah.
Okay, good call. Excellent. And still yet, now that you're at this phase and you want to move to the next level, I would say move in the direction of the high water fruits and herbs because of the effects of the nuts will keep the lymphatic system from moving. They do have some immune boosting properties and minerals, but excessive amounts of nuts, many of them aren't as high quality as I personally would like. And then it can keep the lymphatic system from moving. And you want to get the circulation around the breasts and the blood flow a little bit deeper into the tissues. And the way to do that is to take out all of the fats. Now you want to do this, and for anyone watching this video, you got to gauge where you're at because you don't want to have what I call the snapback effect. You want to just take one nice, very intelligent step each day so that you don't go backwards. You just keep moving forwards. Now, in my opinion, the ultimate diet is fruits and herbs. And that's what I live off of and thrive off of right now. And I work more in the lines of mental, emotional health and physical energy as opposed to more of, the beef that I get on YouTube for being too skinny or whatever because I'm just an ectomorph. So I have different priorities. Mine is more of a spiritual illumination at this time in my life. So I'm not focused on the physical body. And I asked somebody today, she said, well, I work out a lot and I'm very fit, but I'm also not well. And I said, well, are you more focused on your body and being fit, which is of the ego, or are you more interested in health? And she said, obviously, I want to get healthy. So you have to make these judgment calls where if you really have a disease, sometimes you need to get really skinny because you need to break the body down because everything has become inflamed and acidosis and congestion. You can, at your age and with where you're at, you don't have to freak out and go super hard, but you can go nice and systematic, transition over into more alkalinity and movement of the lymphatics and detoxification of the acid accumulation, which was from the sodas. And the wine does the same thing. And I don't know what else you were doing to have lymphatic stagnation besides like the wire bra, which will keep that circulation. But the acids accumulate. And now, so I guess what I would recommend is more juice, more minerals, like the green juices, whatever you're making. You just can't drink too much green juice when you have a disease condition. So those are the herbs that heal. And then there's the fruits as well that are very, very good. So you obviously know about the probiotics, right? You're culturizing.
Yeah.
Did you ever get involved with the enzymes?
I did purchase them.
Okay, and you've been using those?
A little bit.
Okay, you have done the Purazyme, right?
Yes.
The therapeutic one. Good call. So you probably looked on the website and saw that was the therapeutic. There's something else that might work really well for you besides the green juices and the fruits, and that is going to be, have you had any colonics?
No.
Okay, well that may help you at this time. I don't know exactly where you're at with your diet and stuff like that and how long you've been doing this. How long, are you mostly raw?
I would say like 75%.
Okay, that's pretty good. What are your cooked foods?
We do a lot of broccoli, zucchini, cabbage, peppers, onions, garlic.
Okay. And all those are
cauliflower.
cooked vegetables.
Those are the main ones that I do cook, yeah. I do eat a lot of peppers that are raw too, but...
Okay, cool. Well, that's good. Those are fine because the vegetables are benign. But the more raw that you are, the more results you're going to see with the fruits and the green juice. So, are we getting things a little more clear? Because it sounds like you're doing everything right. Maybe the nuts are kind of holding back the lymphatic release. You may want to. One thing that really works is to juice fast for a day or two if you can. I know you're real active, but on the days where you can rest and heal, like on the weekend or whatever, and you can take a couple of days to just drink juice and lay around the house and get a massage and relax your system so that you can just get deeply relaxed. And when we relax, that's when we heal.
Okay.
Okay? So any burning questions?
What about the coconut?
The coconut is the best source of fat in my opinion. Second,
Do you think I should avoid it for a while? Or?
well, again, any fat is going to slow down the movement and the dissolution of the lymphatics. And it's that stagnant lymph, and you want to move that lymph, thin it out, thin out the blood, and increase the circulation to those areas where it's accumulated, in this case the breast. So you're working on increasing circulation. You know, and actually one of the herbs that I love around here at the pharmacy where I'm working is Tulsi, and that's a circulatory tonic. You may want to look into that, and maybe you've seen some of the latest videos.
I have.
Okay, you may want to look into ordering the Tulsi tea, which is kind of an amazing blend because it has 20 different types of the most powerful Tulsi that you can get. And so that'll be a circulatory tonic, as well as ginger's really good for that. And turmeric is also a good herb for the anti-inflammatory, but I recommend the ginger. And if you want, you can fit in a cup of that. You could fit in the tea first thing in the morning and then do a juice. Remember that the more liquid something is, the more healing that it is.
Okay.
So juices are more therapeutic than the smoothies. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And fruits are generally more therapeutic by far than vegetables. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, and the herbal teas just bring that extra medicine into the body. Because it's, cilantro and dandelion. Well, dandelion's really good, but most people, they are using those culinary herbs that we get at the grocery store, which is good, but they're not really super powerful medicinal herbs. And I'm really getting awoke to the herbs again, which I've always loved the herbs, but I'm getting reawakened through my own experiences here as I regenerate myself with the power of the herbs. And one of the ones I use every day is Tulsi, and it's really expanded the circulation to my brain.
Beautiful.
So that's just a suggestion there. Is there anything else?
We think we covered everything. Thank you so much.
I hope this helped. It just was like, you know what's up. It's just like you got to just do it, and you got to keep evolving with the consciousness of, you know, it's going to guide you. If you set your intention and you tap in and you just ask what's next, and then you work on that underlying subconscious fear stuff and replace it with faith, then you will be guided. Like you were guided to get a hold of me, and I was guided to call you, and that was a great. I appreciate your time, Robin.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, do me a favor and you know, let me know in a few weeks how things are moving along.
I will, for sure.
Okay, and if there's any emergencies, you know my number.
Okay, thank you again. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, you're complete?
What you're doing. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, thanks, Robin. We really appreciate
right,
you taking this time to help people out with your opportunity here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Goodbye for now.
Okay. All right. Good night.
Okay, thanks for watching this video. I hope that you learned something. Yeah, that was a really, really, really bright lady there. That was really a pleasure to work with her. I wish all my I won't say any more, but not everybody's like that on point. It takes a lot of, you know, sometimes I require even more patience than that. So anyways, peace be with you. I know that there are probably many women watching this video. May your heart be cleansed and purified, because you'll find the heart energy is the most powerful medicine to keep your breasts healthy. The herbs, the raw living foods, the vegetable juices, the fruits, the foods of nature, and relaxation, and letting go of stress and fear and worry, and doing your best to avoid all the media crap. And if you can, you know, avoid the fear-mongering doctors, no offense, there's good doctors out there, but for the most part, the medical establishment is not really on point, in my opinion. They don't really understand, and it's everybody needs to make money, but the way they're doing it's not fully ethical, in my opinion. It's shady. I'll say no more, but just don't cut it out, clean it out. That's my thing. People get their colons cut out, they get their breasts cut off, they get their gallbladders cut out, they get the thyroids removed. And, you know, when you get a headache, you don't get a lobotomy, is what I'm trying to say. So don't cut things off of you unless you absolutely last case scenario, but it's hardly ever that. It's oxygen, water, minerals, love, sunlight, and releasing and letting go of stress and anxiety deeply imprinted in the subconscious mind, usually from a young age. And so that's what the real healing is. Thank you very much. Peace be with you.